She had heard from some of her friends that it was difficult to care for somebody with dementia. And after she began to have those uncharacteristic complaints to her family, one night she sat down to have dinner with Jack. She always made him a wonderful dinner. She was just such a caring person. She sat down to have dinner with her beloved, and she suffered a massive heart attack. Now, Jack's dementia was so far advanced that he didn't know what to do or how to help her. He eventually went next door, knocked on the door, and said, "Peggy's very tired. She's sleeping on the floor." Now, by the time that the neighbors called for help and rescue came, Peggy was gone. Peggy was my mother. That is why I had the vision of writing the book. Often, everyone is so focused on that person that has a diagnosis of dementia, and well, they should, because it's one of the most horrific illnesses of our time. But that caregiver often is forgotten, and 58% of the time, that caregiver will get sick and pass away before the person they're caring for that has dementia. That's how challenging this role is. That's why I knew I had to write the book, to help that caregiver manage this situation and remind them that they must be aware of taking care of themselves, because they're very important. They're the other part of this relationship, and they're very important in that relationship.
So what Laura was really able to help us do is to allow the person to realize that the family caregiver, that it is absolutely okay to ask for help. They need to ask for help and return to their previous role of being either a husband or spouse or child or whatever, so they can resume their original relationship with the patient and let the caregivers do the caregiving. Another aspect of that Laura really was able to help my family with, was specifically for the spouse, was to really help him understand that what he is needing to do is look for the meaningful moments that he and his wife can have together, and to let go of the need to really prevent or thinking that he could stop the progression or do something to change it, but instead look for the meaningful moments, rejoice in the meaningful moments, and really take care of himself so he could have that time with her.
I needed help with my wife, Margie, who was diagnosed in her early 50s with learning problems and ended up being a type of dementia. I wasn't sure, they called it Alzheimer's. And she was acting out. I didn't know what to do, and I was really distraught. And the thing I love about it is, and my wife, by the way, is chapter 10, and it's all about what's going on. It's all about how to handle your loved one who has some type of a dementia problem. And so why? Simply because 68% of the people that are taking care of their loved ones die before the people they're taking care of. And I know I ended up in a hospital the day they took my wife away for the last time, and she was 1 month short of 3 years before she passed away. And you know what? That day I went to the emergency room, and sure enough, I was 225 over 200 plus, and it took them 4 hours to get my blood pressure down. I could have been one of those statistics, and thank God I wasn't.
I realized after my mom passed away that she became one of those startling statistics. I realized that caregivers all over needed this kind of support. And I feel like had I been able to offer that to her, I would have been able to save her life. The book is full of stories about how it is your job as a caregiver to ask for help, and I want to extend the book and put it into your hand and say, here's some help. I can't cure that person, but I can help you get through this long dementia care journey.